Today's video is brought to you by the good people over at patriotpost.us. They are a fantastic source of news, information, op-eds, all that good stuff, and a link for them will be in the description box. So when you head over there and subscribe, tell them that ABL sent you. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about this farce, this scam that is the impeachment inquiry hearings happening right now on Capitol Hill in front of the House Intelligence Committee. Now, there's a whole lot to talk about, but not a lot at the same time. I mean, if you're going to sit there and watch that, God bless you, but it's going to be very difficult. It's pretty boring. Talking about the history of Ukraine, just all kind of stuff. People reading their resumes on camera. It's like, okay, I'm not really trying to sit here the entire day or for an extended period of time and watch this, but I did happen to catch one piece of information that was given out that I gotta focus on because it was totally 100% false, and it undermines what kind of clown show we got going on right now. Okay, Adam Schiff said that he does not know the identity of the whistleblower. Now, this is a big time whopper, a total lie. It's ridiculous. But before I even get into what he said, I'm gonna roll a few clips. First, I'm gonna roll what he said today, which is Wednesday, November the 13th, 2019. Then I'm going to roll some clips from September the 16th and 17th, respectively. After we get done with that, I'll talk about what he said in those individual clips, give you my 2 cents, my analysis, and then I wrap it on up with a nice bow on top. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Do you anticipate when we might vote on the ability to have the whistleblower in front of us, something you, of the 435 members of Congress, you are the only member who knows who that individual is, and your staff is the only staff of any member of Congress who's had a chance to talk with that individual. We would like that opportunity. When might that happen in this proceeding today?
First, as the gentleman knows, that's a false statement. I do not know the identity of the whistleblower, and I'm determined to make sure that identity is protected.
But you don't know, just to be clear, you don't know who this alleged whistleblower is or what they are alleging.
I don't know the identity of the whistleblower. Now,
And they haven't contacted you, or their legal representation hasn't contacted?
I don't want to get into any particulars. Want to make sure that there's nothing that I do that jeopardizes the whistleblower in any way.
Hey, Congressman, a couple questions here on this whistleblower front. First off, have you heard from the whistleblower? Do you want to hear from the whistleblower? What protections could you provide to the whistleblower? And then you also said that the DNI is refusing to turn over this stuff, citing a request from a higher authority. The insinuation left, at least for me and others, was that the president himself had intervened. Is that the insinuation you sought to provide? And if so, what basis do you have for making that insinuation?
We have not spoken directly with the whistleblower. We would like to.
Okay, so you saw that. You see what's going on. Now, this is totally ridiculous. Even the Washington Post, the far leftist owned by Jeff Bezos rag, basically gave him 4 Pinocchios for what he said. It was just totally false on his face. How do you not know who the whistleblower is when your staff was approached by him? How are you going to say you've not talked to the whistleblower directly, or your staff hasn't, when again the whistleblower approached your staff? Let's back up a little bit here to give you some context. Adam Schiff is the chair of the House Intelligence Committee. The whistleblower approached staff of the House Intelligence Committee, and that's how the whistleblower came to be known. The staff went to Schiff, told him what's going on. Then the whistleblower, everything came out about him, but everybody knows that Adam Schiff had the information first, or at least his staff did, okay? If it's your staff and they come to you, that means you have it first, before anybody else. That has been widely reported by left, right. It's not even a thing that is up for a debate. Furthermore, everybody in Washington, D.C. knows who this man is. They know him by name. I won't say it right here because YouTube gets triggered, but everybody knows who the man is. If I know who he is, everybody in D.C. knows who he is, then why does Adam Schiff not know who he is? Regardless of whether the staffer told Adam Schiff the guy's name is unimportant, because you have to know who he is, because everybody knows who he is. You're in Washington, D.C., you're in the swamp, you're going to hear that name, okay? And being in your position, of course you're going to hear the name. But beyond that, he says that he vows to protect the identity of the whistleblower. How are you going to do that, sir, if you don't know who it is? If you don't have the guy's name, if you've never met him, if you never spoke to him, how are you going to have his name? Okay? The biggest lie here that can't really be disputed, because some people may say, oh, maybe he wasn't the guy that was contacted first by the whistleblower. Maybe they can say that. Maybe they can say a few different things that's going on here. But the main thing is that nobody talked to the guy. That's a lie. That is a total lie. Your staff, at least, bare minimum, your staff talked to him. Maybe you can say, oh, well, the staff talked to the guy, but they didn't tell me who he was. Maybe you can say that. But you most certainly have to say that your staff did talk to the guy. Let's go back to the September the 16th Anderson Cooper interview, where Anderson asked him, hey, has a whistleblower contacted you or your staff? Or how about his lawyer? Had they contacted you? He's like, well, I don't want to get into the particulars of that and the third. But then before that, when Anderson asked him, hey, do you know who the whistleblower is? He's like, nope, don't know it. So that's a direct, straightforward question and a direct, straightforward answer. But then when you get asked another straightforward and direct question, you want to give an evasive answer. But then the very next day on Morning Joe with the guy by the name of Sam Stein, when he asked a similar question, he's like, no, I've never spoken to him. We've never spoken to him. Okay, so when Anderson Cooper asked you that, you say you don't want to get into the particulars. But then when you're on Morning Joe, the very next day, not the day before or the same day, the very next day, you say, well, I've never spoken to him. We've never spoken to him before. It's pretty interesting. Now, he went, I think, on the Blaze or somewhere and quote unquote clarified that, saying that he had not spoken to him in the context of, you know, like being a witness in the chair, being asked questions. That's what the context was. But you should have clarified that right there. Why would you wait till later? You know, and you could have said something like that on Anderson Cooper as well, but you didn't. You're giving different statements depending upon where you are. One thing that he's saying is that he doesn't know who the whistleblower is. He says that consistently, but as far as who spoke to him or, you know, now that's kind of like, you're lying. You're not telling the truth. And I think everybody knows that Adam Schiff is a liar. Stone cold, stomp down liar. He may be a halfway decent liar to convince a lot of people that this whole impeachment fiasco is a real thing. But the truth is that he's a liar regardless of how you say. He could be a good liar, bad liar. He's a liar. And that tells you how much credibility this whole impeachment inquiry process actually has. Okay. He's the chair of the House Intelligence Committee. The Republicans submitted a list of witnesses they wanted to testify, including Hunter Biden, which would be a great witness to have. I mean, this whole thing was centered around him and his father, right? You got Donald Trump calling Ukraine, and then they're saying that he bullied or blackmailed or, bribed the Ukrainian president into giving, quote unquote, dirt on Hunter and Joe, although the quote unquote dirt was already out there. How are you going to say Trump called Ukraine to get dirt on Hunter and Joe when everybody already knew what time it was? Everybody has already known that Hunter was getting paid between 50 and 80 grand per month to be on the board of a Ukrainian energy company with zero experience in energy at all, without knowing the Ukrainian language or Russian or anything like that. Okay. He's over there getting that money. It's clear that there was some kind of conflict of interest because at the time, his father was the vice president of the USA and the special envoy to Ukraine. Joe Biden went over there and got on TV and said that he requested that the investigator, or the prosecutor, pardon me, that was investigating the situation with Burisma Holdings, the company that Hunter Biden was getting paid from. He said, hey, if you don't fire that guy looking into that company, you're not going to get these guaranteed loans worth millions, if I'm not mistaken. And then within a matter of hours, the guy was fired. He said it on TV. That right there is a bigger story. You should be, quite frankly, getting Joe Biden himself to speak before the committee and Hunter and also the whistleblower. These are three key people, but you don't want to have them. This is a clown show. You're guilty until proven innocent. At the end of the day, as I close, the impeachment inquiry hearing, a joke so far, long, drawn out, boring. I was glad to see that Adam Schiff revealed himself to be a liar, like we all know that he is, and we've known before this whole hearing happened. It won't go anywhere. Even if they decide to impeach him, he will not be convicted. This right here is a campaign strategy. They don't have anybody that can actually succeed on the Democratic side in the presidential election. Their best bet was Hillary Clinton. That fell by the wayside, as did she, quite frankly, literally, but I digress. That failed. It didn't work. It collapsed literally on his face. So now they're trying to say, all right, we don't have anybody. Let's just try to impeach him, dirty his name up, dirty the name of his supporters up, make him appear to be corrupt and all this, that, and the third. We'll be able to campaign on that because we don't have anything else. That's what it's all about. It's not about trying to find facts or get down to the core or get justice. It ain't about that. It's about trying to win an election. It's politics as usual, and these leftists will do anything in their power to get what they want accomplished, including bold-faced lying. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? Do you think that Adam Schiff is a liar? If that's your viewpoint, let me know why in the comments below. Or do you think he's not a liar? If he's not a liar, I mean, what would make you think that he's not a liar? I mean, it's pretty clear that if he is not totally 100% lying, which I believe he is, he's telling some inconsistent statements. If you're telling the truth, you're going to have the same story regardless of where you are, what time it is, or whatever. It's the same story. It's not going to change. Like, if it's 11 o'clock, at 11 o'clock, it's 11 o'clock. It's not going to change depending upon where you are. It's always that same thing. Why make a different statement on this show versus that show, on that show? And he's a liar. And Democrats are trying to get Trump out of office. It's not going to work. The Democrats are going to fail just like they have been over the past few days, weeks, and months. But whatever your comments are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.